What's up, everybody? It's Bree Amazing, and welcome to episode 2 of Because Girl What podcast. But before I get into episode 2, and it's a really good subject for me. First, for episode 1, I truly want to thank anybody and everybody who took the time out of their life, their busy day, busy schedule to listen to my podcast, my first one by myself. It was truly amazing. The feedback, the support, the shares, the likes, the posts, the comments. Like, thank you. Um, it can mean little to somebody else who gets thousands and stuff like that, but just the little number I got, it just shows that like it starts somewhere. So I want to thank you guys for that, and let's get into episode 2. So, episode 2, I call this one Leaving the Past Behind Why Your Ex Doesn't Belong in Your Future. So, first, me, Brie Amazing, I wanted to do this topic because I chose that it was important to me, also because I feel like a lot of us, including myself, like we hold on to the past. And I just wanted to just talk about, maybe why we do it, or um, you know, the reason behind certain things, because sometimes like we don't want to let go, but is it affecting our future? So the first thing I wrote down was basically, not the first thing the one thing that popped in mind is like, how can you move forward in life when you're looking back? So the first thing I want to say is like why we struggle to let go. And a couple of things I could think of. Maybe it's like a comfort zone, because sometimes we're so comfortable in our settings. Even like with me, I'm one thing about me, about my personality, I'm not afraid to try new things. But sometimes I can get in my own way and be like, don't fix what isn't broke. And half of the time it's broken, but you don't want to admit that it's broken. So, yeah, so that can create a comfort zone. And sometimes you don't like change. And excuse me for my voice, y'all. I think I'm catching a cold. And then the next thing is, it can be a thing of fear of starting over. Like, you be like, oh my God, like, especially for me, like, I'm at an age where it's like a vetting stage. You gotta, first of all, you gotta see if y'all even y'all even compatible, or the new person, do you like him, or do you gotta go through this, or even with a dude, like, do you like this girl, like you gotta go through the talking stage. And I'm in a point in my life like, oh my God, like I have to start all over. Like, it's just a fear, because I feel like in your old relationship you put so much time and effort and dedication. It's like now you're back at square one. And some people, they have a fear of doing that, because it's like, I put so much time in this, like I don't want to start over. And then another reason can be unfinished business. Like, you be like, okay, I've been with this person, we took our little break, but I feel like we're not done yet. And I feel like that can be a struggle of not letting go, because it's like, but what if? And sometimes that but what if can cause a lot of pain. It can cause a lot of trouble. And then one that I see a lot with certain people, and even with my friends, not certain friends, but like a lot of people I know, a fear of being alone. I think, see, okay, let me put my book down for a minute, because let me tell you about the fear of being alone. Some people like can truly not do it. Like, I be like, when I be listening to certain people, and like, say for instance they're going through something, and then the first thing they say is, that's okay, because I'm about to talk to somebody else. And I be wanting to say like, Girl, hello? How about be with yourself? But like my last episode, sometimes it's just good to be a listening ear. Sometimes it's just not to put your opinion on everything. So, I don't know, like, I feel like with that, the being alone part, like, even with me, like, I've been alone for a very, very long time. Like, so I get it, like, and it gets lonely, like, I get it. But with me being alone, like, I found out the value of myself and that I'm still learning of myself. And I found out like sometimes it's okay to be alone because that's when you start finding yourself, you know? So I think of people, but some people can't handle being alone. They're so used to being with somebody or used to talking to somebody or being a pain to somebody. Like, they don't know how they would be if they would be alone. Like, they feel like they always got to talk to somebody. And I be want to say, like, it's okay. Like, but I feel like that's some of the struggle of letting go. And then, like, and I feel like sometimes, and with that being said, they start to make excuses for the ex to keep them around. Like, oh, but we're still friends. Like, girl or boy, y'all know y'all not still friends. Like, I mean, y'all, like, yeah, y'all friends, but friends with benefits. And we all know friends with benefits do not work. Like, even with me, like, it was a certain individual, and um he was like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship, but I want to be friends with benefits. And at first, and I was like, man, what? Like, no. But then I was like, okay, let's try it. So we tried it. I mean, I was cool with it, but he wasn't. Like, it started, oh, what you doing? Who you with? Why, friend? Why? Like, why do you want to know? So yeah, no, that's just a whole messy idea. So that, oh, we're still friends. Like, no, I will say some exes can truly be friends if they've truly moved on. I've seen it. Some exes can truly be friends if they're completely over each other. They're both in different relationships. I've seen it. You might not believe it, but I've seen it. And then the next thing I want to say is, this is the biggest one that pisses me off because I've done it too. What if they change? Honey, let me tell you. If they haven't changed by now, they not changing. Like, it will be a Christmas miracle if they change. And I know, because I'm that type of person. I always try to see the good in people. And I'm like, well, no. And the truth will always reveal itself in certain situations and stuff like that. Yeah, so we be like, okay, they're gonna change, they're gonna change. In the back of our mind, we know damn well they not changing. Like, I was dating somebody and I was like, oh, he's gonna change. Like, we're both at that age now. We could talk about our future, how we're gonna grow, we're gonna build each other. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker is not changing. And I know he not. But I'ma stick beside him. And what happened? My ass got played. So yeah. So don't try, whoever, and I want, listen to me. If you said they were gonna change, don't feel bad. Because that was me too. We've all like, a lot of us been dumb for a dude, but that's okay because today, me, Brie Amazing, and I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna talk to myself how we gonna get through this. Okay, like, we're here, so it's okay. So yeah, so like I knew, like, even like I said, like, I just knew it wasn't gonna work. And so the next thing I want to talk about, like, even the consequences of holding on. Like, I feel like when you hold on, like, it takes a completely emotional toll on you, like anxiety, insecurities, or sometimes you could be blocking yourself, blocking your blessings, blocking yourself from meeting somebody new. And I think That's what I'm going through right now because I don't even think it's about an ex like that I'm still on. I think it's about the stuff that I went through with my ex, and I'm so scared. I don't want to go through it again. And I've been so alone for so long. I'm enjoying my peace, but sometimes, it gets a little lonely. Like it's for the anxiety. Like, say for instance, you're like you went through a lot with your ex, right? And you see like little signs that the new person is doing, and it could just be something simple, but it can like it's like a trauma trigger or something, and it be like, oh nope, he's doing what so and so did. Nope, boo, gotta go. Or you be so guarded, you don't even know when somebody's flirting with you. Like me, bro. Like I was at my cousin's wedding, and I guess some guy was flirting with me at my cousin's wedding, but I'm so out of tune and I just ignored the sign. I didn't even notice somebody was flirting with me. And my mother said, she was like, you didn't even know that guy was flirting with you. And I'm like, he was. And I was like, dang, am I that out of tune? Because I've been through so much in my past. Like, I've did this, I don't know, this, what do you call it? I don't know. It's something like a protective shield or something that I just block out the bullshit. And sometimes when you block out, you think you blocking out all the bullshit. You're blocking maybe meeting somebody potentially new. The insecurities, with holding on. I dated someone who made me feel really insecure about myself. You probably know who you are. Fuck you. But but I dated somebody, and he used to say little things, especially when it's certain like my weight, and I felt so insecure. Like I was like, well, damn, maybe I should just stick with him because he is sticking with me because I don't think nobody else would talk to me because of my weight. But then I don't know, like it created an insecurity, and my insecurities not just come from an ex-boyfriend. It came from certain situations in my life too that we'll probably dig deeper into episodes down the line. But yeah, I it kind of, I want to say it ruined me, but I guess it kind of hinders me from doing certain things or talking to certain people because dealing with things from my past. But then I'm sorry, I'm getting better at it because then I had to realize who the hell I was, like, and that's something I'm still working on. So you don't want to deal with that because those are the consequences of holding on. Like it can cause anxiety, insecurities, and you, like I said, you could be blocking someone from, blocking your blessings or blocking yourself from meeting somebody new because you're so guarded and you're scared of your past relationships, or what I'm saying, or you're holding on to your old relationships that you might not never find who you truly deserve. Um and I also wrote, keeping an ex around can affect future relationships. So it goes hand in hand, like I said, blocking from meeting somebody new. Like, you don't want to keep an ex around because, for one, especially, say, okay, back it up. Say, for instance, you are talking to somebody new, right? And you're still talking to your ex. How can you fully give somebody your true self when you're still giving half of yourself to your ex? Like, it's not fair to the new person you're talking to. So, that's why you shouldn't keep an ex around and start looking forward, because why you want to keep looking back when you have a future right in front of you? So the next thing I want to talk about is signs it's time to let go. And I would say, when it's time to let go when, one, this plays a big part, stalking social medias. Like, say for instance, you are looking at an ex's page and you're looking to see what they've been up to, who they're with, who's commented on their pages, who liked their pictures, who they're following, and then it's just this rabbit hole. And don't be fronting like you don't do it, like you didn't do it, because we've all did it. I've done it. I'm not ashamed. Like, I've stalked an ex's page. I've seen who he's with now, who he used to be with, what kind of like where they been at, what kind of shoes and stuff they wearing now. For me, I'm petty because I look like still can't dress. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. I take that back. No, I don't. Okay, I do. No, I'm just playing. I ain't that vain, maybe. But anyways, but yeah, I sometimes you go back on the pages. No, don't be stalking them people pages. And I'm saying that to myself too. Stop looking at them pages. Stop typing in them names because it's not worth it. And then it's like it can trigger a memory like, oh, that used to be us. Like, oh, I wonder if he still think about me, or oh, I wonder if this. No, don't think about that because I'm guaranteed he ain't thinking about you, and if he is, it ain't up to no good. And the other thing I can say, another reason, well, a sign that it's time to let go, hoping for a reunion. Okay, don't y'all be okay, and keep it real. Like, don't lie. You ever be like you got your flyest fucking fit on, you in the club, or not even the club, or you just out. I be like, dang, what if I run into so and so? Ah, shit on him for real. Like, no, be that if that don't go through y'all mind, y'all lying because it went through mine. Because when I be fresh all the time, head to toe, I be like, man, if I walk past so and so, boom, like I could just be like, deep in my mind. But the older me now have to think like you don't want a reunion because what good would it do? What good would it do? Now, before, this is not a bashing ex because it's been times where I've seen people who were together, broke up, came back together, and now they're together for good. It works, just not realistically. Like, so I felt like that's a sign. And another sign that is time to let go, the manipulation from an ex. Like, they manipulate you to make their way back into your life. And I just feel like if it's not organically where we're coming back to each other's life and you gotta manipulate me, then it's not meant to be. Like, you gotta manipulate somebody to get what you want. It's not meant to be. It's time to let it go. And I feel like manipulating somebody is just selfish. So yeah, I don't like it. So the next thing I want to talk about is steps to move on. So, and this is not just for me either. I've took some of these steps and it worked ish, but that's just something that you have to work on yourself too. So the first thing I can say is cut off. This is number one exactly. This is one. Cut off unnecessary contact. It could be social media, phone numbers, the mama, you cool with the mama. Hey, if you trying to get your piece, I don't care if you love Miss Shirley. Miss Shirley's son ain't shit, and she raised him to be ain't shit. So you gotta let Miss Shirley go too. Bye, Miss Shirley. You gotta go. So I would just say, cut off unnecessary contact, and I feel like that's just so crucial because, like I said, the manipulation and all that. Any way to contact you just to get back in your good graces, or sometimes they can catch you at a very vulnerable state. It's not good. So I know it can be hard, and or sometimes you, the nosy person I am, just to see what's up and what they're doing in their life. It doesn't concern you anymore. Y'all are broken up for a reason. Now I know that's not reality for everybody, and you have to basically, like, say for instance, you guys are co-parenting, or you might work at the same job or something. I don't know. I would say even if you can't cut off all unnecessary contact, because if you're co-parenting, of course, you have to communicate for the child. I would have to say set a boundary. You know, for a child, like even for co-parenting, if it ain't about the kid, we ain't got nothing to talk about, and just cut it up. And you're still cutting unnecessary contact. So set a boundary. And the last thing I would say for the steps to move on is focus on your self growth. Like, and that's where I bring it back to earlier when I said they be so quick to jump in new relationships. Jump in a relationship with yourself. Like, focus on yourself. One thing I've been doing is journaling or find a hobby, which I did my podcast. Hello. And so, and believe it or not, hell, therapy. I can't wait to start therapy because I feel like a lot of things that I do now or my dating life is which is non-existent is because of things that have happened in my past and I've never really got to talk about them. So, I feel like therapy would be an excellent way to focus on your self-growth. And oh, I forgot one more. Surround yourself with people who are supporting your healing process. Don't be around the people like, oh, you'll be all right. No, be around the ones that encourage you, like, okay, friend, I'm here. What do you need me to do? Let's go do something. Like, for real, transparent moment and shout out moment. Shout out to my dog, Rochelle. And I say this because I finally opened up, and Katie too. I opened up to them about a situation where I had reached out to an ex. And I felt stupid because it felt like I was trying to, like, all I asked was like, oh, you out here, let's kick it, whatever. And then I'm gonna keep it real. They didn't say nothing back to me. Like, they were communicating to me at first, but then it got cut short, and I was mad at myself because I was like, now it looks like I'm chasing him, and it really wasn't like that because one thing about me, well, my exes, some of them I'm really am cool with. Like, well, in my head, I'm thinking I am, but then I was like, now I'm in my head now, like, now I think I'm chasing them, and I don't ever want to have somebody think they got the upper hand on me. And Katie and Rochelle really gave me some really good feedback, and even about my non-existent dating life and ways I probably need to open myself up more. And especially Rochelle, like, she kept it real with me. Um, she in a lovable friend way, and I love her for that. And so when I say surround yourself with supportive friends, it really helps because she told me, like, even with me, I know this is off topic, even with me, like, the dating scene. And I was like, y'all, I don't even know how to flirt, how to do this. She said, well, the first thing when we out, like, don't look so, I wouldn't say mean, but don't look like people get intimidated by you so easily. And then she also told me, like, and when we're out, stop being in your phone so much. And I was like, dang, that is true. I do be in my phone a lot, but I be in my phone a lot because I'm nervous. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, my social battery has went from 100,000 to literally -0 because I don't know. I think because I've been so alone by myself for so long, I just don't know how to be like, hey, what's your name? Like, what you up to? Like, what you're into? And so, I don't know. Like, I get stuttering. It's weird. I don't know. And then I watch too much Law and Order. So yeah, I don't know. So that'll be on the next topic of, just wait and see. Yeah. So but yeah. So just surround yourself with people who will keep it real with you, who will encourage you to better yourself, and listen to you and give you the best advice. Because, and I cherish that because I've watched my friend's relationship grow, and I love that for her. She is now a fiance. Shout out to Rochelle and Nate. And I want that, like, because her relationship is, I think with me, and don't hate me, Rochelle, I watch her past relationships, and I feel like this one she truly deserved. Like, she found her soulmate, she found her best friend, and that's what I want. I want my soulmate and my best friend, and I know I'm not going to get that with an ex. And so I appreciate that, and I'm just so happy for them. And I aim to, be on that status, and I'm pretty sure nothing is never peaches and cream over there, but they make it work. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rochelle and Nate. And oh, and I got another thing. I've been thinking I just completed the list. Something that I just thought about, y'all. Forgive, forgive, forgive. And I'm not saying like, and it's very like the powerness of forgiveness, like the powerness. That's not even a word. The power in forgiving, not for them, but for your peace, your sanity. Like, don't hold on to stuff that triggers you and can piss you off. I just look at it as learning lessons. It happened. You went through it. It made you a stronger person. It made you a different person. It made you a fighter. Now, where do you go from there? Just forgive and move on. Don't don't basically stay on the past. Like, move forward, you know? And the last thing I want to talk about is staying focused on the future. So basically, I am a very looking like, what's my future? Like, I'm excited for my future, my purpose. And I feel like for this is how to build a new narrative of for yourself without your ex being in it. So when I wrote that, I was saying like how to create your new story. Like, you don't want to be this person like, oh, Brianna, she's still Brianna. She's still with that person. She's still dealing with the cheating. She's still dealing with the lies. She's still, dealing with him being lazy. She's still dealing with him not valuing her. Or even for a guy, because I don't want to make this like a male bashing. Who I can use? Ryan. Ryan's still with that girl. So he's still not being valued. He's still like, you don't want that to keep being your story. When somebody asks, like, I want it to be like, oh, Brianna's with this person who values her, who loves her, who cares for her, who they're best friends, who puts her first, who puts her wants, her needs, her desires. Like, that's the story you want. And I feel like catering to that, like, I want somebody to not cater to me, but I want somebody to appreciate me. I want that to be my love story. Like, I want to be able to tell my kids like, I married your father because he was the love of my life, stuff like that. Like, and I feel like it's up to you how you want to create your own narrative. Change the narrative in your story. Don't let it still be the same thing. Visualize the life that you want and go for it. You know what I'm saying? Imagine yourself like, I can be on top if I just let this thing go. You know what I'm saying? So I want to leave you with this. And I wrote this down. You deserve to be with someone who's fully present, and that starts with letting go of who isn't. So, like I said, don't hold on to something that isn't worth it. Like, if you hold on to this person, is it really worth the heartache, the tears, the anxiety, the insecurities? So, that's just something you want to think about. So, just let me know. I'm going to be starting this thing where I have this email. You guys can send me topics. I might make a post like, oh, what do you think about this and your thoughts? And maybe I'll read some of your comments or your emails or anything. I don't know. I just want to make it more. I want to connect more with the audience. So I'm excited to see where this next episode will go, because the topic I'm thinking about doing next, I feel like it flows into what I wrote down. So this is episode 2 of Because Girl Whet podcast. I want to thank you for listening. And once again, I do apologize about my voice. I am getting sick because, where I live at now is 0 degrees. And I'm used to living in 90 degrees. No, I'm just playing, but I'm not. But thank you for listening. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next episode. This is very therapeutic. And yeah, peace out.
Because get what?